Hey, shalom, 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 yasha Allah, shah Shabbat.
Shabbat.
Hey, you are now tuned in to another pre-game episode, on the rise, episode 5. In it for the long haul. Hope brothers and sisters understand what that means. Right?
They should.
In it for the long haul. This is not a 100-meter dash,
Right.
right? This is not your 200-meter. This is your lifelong, everlasting up and down race.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into that, understanding how we got to be rooted in the foundations of the principal teachings, rooted in the foundations of Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? Rooted in the foundations of the law, right? And rooted in the foundations in the spirit of brotherhood, sincerity, and in truth. We're going to get into all of that, right? As the Adawan mentioned last night, we got a new feature to the YouTube where you can become a member of our YouTube, right? Right. For example, right. Let me get my sister in here right quick. Right. Bam. Member of the YouTube, my sister TT, man. All praises. My sister Nataza, right? She has become a member of the YouTube, and we appreciate everybody that does that. And you have the opportunity as well, right? Tony, right? Brother hit me up all the time, man. Just checking on me. I appreciate you, right? He has become a member of the YouTube, and you should become a member as well, right? Gives you different features to the YouTube, and you have first priority. Our members, of course, are gonna have first priority when it comes to dealings on the YouTube, right? So, without further ado, let's greet some of the people in the chat. We're gonna play a commercial for y'all. Y'all already know what we got going on, and then we're gonna get into this in it for the long haul, man. I got a video for y'all. I want to show y'all, man, what it means to me when I see in it for the long haul, and the help that you need in this walk. Because I can't do this walk without brothers like Aharon, right? I can't do this walk without the brothers and sisters in the chat, my chat family. Hashtag chat family. That's what we're gonna call it. The chat chat family, man. The chat family, right? This truth doesn't exist without the people. So we need each other. And that's what a part of this lesson is, and that's what the pregame is about too. Because guess what? Not only do we need each other, the people need us, right? The people, that's what I say this every week. That's what the pregame is about, to get you in the mindset of going to camp. Get the sisters in the mindset of how they're going to spend their Sabbath, whether it's with the kids doing extracurricular activities, right? Or if some of the sisters going to camp, some of the sisters watching camp, some of the sisters taking notes and reading, whatever the case may be, right? For the sisters and for the brothers, right? The pregame is to get you in the spirit of wanting to do it, right? But you got to remember that this truth cannot exist without the people, because the whole book is about Yasha Allah.
Right.
And the people need us. The people that know who we are, right? So, like, let me rephrase that. We know who we are. So the people that don't know who they are, they need us more than ever in these last days, man. Did y'all not see that earthquake in Turkey?
Oh, calm.
That was a major earthquake. People don't even understand that's a part of the prophecies of Yahweh Shai, man. Saying he was going to bring earthquakes, right? Terrible storms, famine, right? Our people got to know this, because we're living in the last days, and it's so important, this job that we have, just shining your light, so important in these last days. So we got to continue that, right? And that's why I titled this lesson "In It for the Long Haul," because that light cannot go dim, right? Let me turn off my light. I got light in here, right? Watch this. Right, I went dim. You can't be, and I ain't even, my computer got the light actually, right? I don't even need these lights, honestly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But see how it went dim in this truth. You may go a little dim, but you can't cut all them lights off. You cannot be sitting in darkness, man, or you're gonna be venturing back into the world.
Salakia.
Go ahead,
And
King.
real quick, man, that's why the point is so heavy. That's why we need other people in this truth to help keep us up. You know what I mean? And that's why the scripture say in Sirach chapter 37 and 12, it
Yep.
says, but be continually with a godly man, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord.
Hey,
Who's
that's Sirach teaching the old friend. Birds of a feather flock together. You gotta
yep,
be with somebody that's keeping the commandments.
yep, yep.
Birds of a feather flock together, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's what Sirach is teaching you right there. Hey, you got to be around people that's keeping the commandments. If you not, you're gonna be dibbling dabbling. You're gonna be on the fences. You're gonna be lukewarm, right? Or
Right.
you're gonna be cold. Go ahead, you can read from the top
Right.
again.
No, just so to that point. So a lot of times people in Israel, they'll when they feel like being worldly a little bit, they'll go back with that group just because they
Mm-hmm.
know that those people they're not holding you accountable. They don't know how we are to behave. So you get to kind of like have a day off hanging out with them. See, that's just how you gonna get caught up too. Because what happens when they a year later come into the truth and they remember the things that you were doing, and now they looking at you, and now you embarrassed because you played yourself.
That's
You know,
right.
it reads, it says, but be continually with a godly man, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord, whose mind is according to thy mind, and will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry.
That's right.
Okay, so that's a big part of having endurance, because in this walk it's going to be high times, it's going to be low times, it's going to be difficult times.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have someone there whose mind is according to thy mind, whose same heart is towards the most high, man, when you down, when you need a little bit of encouragement, they can give that to you. They can take care of that burden when you do miscarry. So it's very, very important on keeping on this walk for the long haul, right?
That's right. And that miscarriage is just like a mishaps, man. Something just happened in your life. You lost your
Hmm.
job. Somebody got to get surgery. Somebody's sick.
Hmm.
Whatever. You might have lost your house, right? You might be going through a terrible divorce, right? You might be battling with friends in the world. You might be have enemies of your own household. Your
Yeah.
wife ain't in the truth. Your husband ain't in the truth. Your kids ain't in the truth.
Hmm.
These are all the mishaps that Sirach could be talking about that you need a brother or a sister for in this walk, right? That's why when you read the book of Hebrews, it says, forsake not the assembly, man. You got to be assembling
Hmm.
yourselves together, right? We
Hmm.
got Passover coming up April 3rd. Everybody, I want to see everybody in this chat at the Passover. And I mean that. I want to meet you. I want to meet you. Let's come up. Let's take a picture. That's
One
what
of
it's
the
about.
brothers on the
Everybody
chat
know
said that he emailed us about it. One
Say
of
it
the
again.
brothers. Oh, the brother Gab Israel says he sent an email about Passover in the chat. He said that.
All praise. So then you in there. But this is what I want people to do. I'm gonna type it in the chat. I'm gonna type it in the chat, right? And I'm gonna tell the elders and brothers tomorrow what I put in the chat, right? Um, right. I'm gonna put it in the chat. When you send your Passover email, cash app, whatever the case may be, this needs to be in the subject, the heading somewhere. Passover 23 AD. This has to be in there somewhere, right? So if you send in, because we will ask for donations, if you send a donation, make sure you put in the subject Passover 23 AD, standing for what? Passover 2023 AD, right? If you send an email concerning Passover in the subject heading, just put this all just how I have it, all caps, Passover 23 AD, right? And that'll stamp your ticket. This has to be in the subject for Passover. If you're doing any donations for Passover, anything that you're doing for SOT's Passover, this will be in the subject so we know where to put the funds, right? Because sometimes brothers are send a donation and you don't have a subject, and we just think that's a donation, right? We just think that's a generous donation. Throw water for that, right? But we don't know that that's specifically for the Passover. So we got a Passover kitty, right? And if you put Passover 2380, that's where it's going, right? It's strictly for the Passover, right? Hey, the water to Solomon McFadden for your generous donation, King. We appreciate you.
Uh,
Every donation matters, man. Every donation matters, King. The water for that. All praises to the Most High. So, without further ado, let's get into this video real quick. We're gonna greet the people, then we're gonna get into to something else right quick. Let me see some. Hope brothers went out and purchased. I hope y'all went out and purchased. Let me see. Right here, bingo.
Call your family, call your friends. It's time to play the game, The Truth of Yah. Learning the Bible has never been more engaging. The game that's guaranteed to increase your biblical knowledge, renew minds, and save lives.
Hey, what other game would you want to play? It's a game that's going to increase your biblical knowledge. What other games is you going to want to play when you're around some brews? And you know it's going to be I can't wait to come around the brothers, man, in the A and play. I know how competitive it's going to be, man. Right? It's going to be a Royal Rumble in there, righteously, though. Righteously. Royal Rumble. Right? But what other game? You got Monopoly, you got brothers got the Uno, you got Jenga, you got
domino,
chessboard, checkerboard. Nobody want to see me in that chessboard, checkerboard. I see I threw that in there.
God. God. It's kind of like me with dominoes or Othello or anything like that, you know.
Yeah, we got the dominoes. I know how to play a little dominoes. I ain't the greatest. In Florida, we play tunk, right? I know brothers and sisters don't be playing no tunk, right? That's the South thing, right? But what other game would you want other than this right here? You gotta have this in the arsenal to increase your biblical knowledge. Grabbing this as soon as the Sabbath is over, the sister said. Samaria, right? She said she grabbing that thing as soon as the Sabbath is over. All praises, sis.
Grab your Bible and don't forget your Apocrypha. Loads of fun for everyone. The Truth of Yah board game helps build up the poor in spirit, build character, gain wisdom, show what you know or find out what you didn't know, gain confidence, line upon line, precept upon precept. Make the Truth of Yah a part of your home today. Come on, what are you waiting for? Join the fun today.
So y'all can purchase that game, www.truthofyah.com. Again, on the screen, www.truthofyah.com. Purchase it. I know last week it was on sale. And make sure you get it. Oh, hey, I don't want to just hit me up, say, we play tongue and the D too. Say less. I'm bringing the cards for Passover. I'm bringing the cards, I don't want. $2 game. Oh, so it's a Sabbath. It's a Sabbath.
Yeah, your brother, man.
It's a Sabbath. Hey, but hey, the brother Kahari, man. Hey, I mean not Kahari, Salakia. Kaya say, hey, you don't want to see him in the game, man.
Not Kaya.
Kaya say you don't want to see him in the game. I mean, Kaya is what I take from this is Kaya. You know this fam, this all love. Kaya is saying because this is a biblical.
He can't be saying none of that.
So he's saying he know more precepts than you are right now.
Well, I know he ain't saying that because we had a challenge back when he was at
Wait. Don't expose him, Mike. Don't expose him, Mike. Look. Chill. Hey, Theophilus, chill out. Don't expose him, Mike. Do not expose him. Hey, don't bring it to
Malachi, he was there.
He was there. Oh, you got witnesses, 2 or 3? Hey, 2 or 3. Hey, the scriptures say you need 2 or 3 witnesses, though.
All right.
No. 2 or 3 witnesses. Wait, and you say wait. And it's always wait when the brother bring out them receipts. Right?
Wait.
Always wait when the brother got them receipts. Man. Right? Okay, so all praises to that for that game, and I know it's gonna be competitive. Theo, I hope you play tongue too. Well, if not, we'll teach you. Right? Don't learn from Adawan Mike. He be cheating. Right, but definitely purchase that game. So without further ado, let's jump into the chat. We got our brother Salaki. We got our brother West in the building. Prospect Trey Lindsay, Shalawam. We got Yarrow All, Captain Yarrow All out in mid California. If you want to do the work in Cali, man, Salaki, definitely hit us up. Email us, man. Email us if you want to do the work in Cali. What else is you? Why wouldn't you want to do the work, right? In California, right? Especially where the brothers at. I don't think there's a major presence. I don't think it's a big presence where the brother is at. So we need to get some. We need to lay the foundation, right? Shalom to my sister Natzaza, my brother Theo, Soldier Theo, right? Yaquaria Shalawam, BC, right? Isaiah, Mina Israel, Labrayaka Shalawam, Tony, Soldier Sanctuary, Brother Kahari, Yahana, Yadiah, Gab, right? Info Poetry, Hebrew Daughter, Sister Lavina Benjamin, Justin Coleman, Ariel, right? Samaria. Who else did I forget? Hey, my brother, hey, Malak Yawasa. Hey, Malak, what's the temperature where you at? Hey, drop your temperature in the chat. Drop the temperature in the chat. What's the weather? 55 in the A.
And they say it's 100% chance of rain.
Oh,
And
y'all got a little
Compton is
precipitation.
57.
Oh, they got a little precipitation in the A. Hey, what y'all gonna fold out? Y'all ain't going out today. Let me check the soldiers chat.
Who ain't going out today?
Let me check the soldiers chat to see if brothers are saying it's gonna rain. We don't want to go to camp. Let me check the soldiers chat. Let me see. All right, I don't see nobody posting nothing yet. They might still be asleep.
Kaya probably not gonna go. We know that. But everybody else.
Hey, brothers be texting in the chat. Yo, it's gonna rain today. Hey, Shalom, Sister Aisha. Shalom. Kaya, what's up, King Shalom? I don't want Maya Kaya. If you want to do the work in Alabama, please hit us up. Please hit us up at sonsofthunderisraelites@gmail.com. You know, we'll get you in contact with Captain Malachi, Captain Israel out in Alabama, right? Who else is in the building? Yahana Levite Priest, Shalom. Big L, Shalom. Feed me righteously, feed me righteously though, right? Shalom. Ooh, they say what? What we got? 36 degrees. Hey, sis, where you at? Sis, what's your location, sis? Where you at? 36. My brother out in Kansas City, though. 33 degrees. I don't want it. Arkansas. Right? 41 currently. Sis in Dallas. I'm thinking about that Dallas area, sis. I ain't gonna lie. That area. 40 though. I'm gonna show y'all what it is in Florida.
80
45
what?
in DC.
It's 80 what in Florida?
Yeah, about 80 something. And I got a jacket on. 47 out in Cali. 65 in Florida. What city you in Florida? What city you in, King? You got to be in North Florida for 65 for sure. Who else we got? Southern California is 50. Where you at in LA at? Right. 84 in Fort Myers, Florida. Wow. 84 degrees. It's a nice day. We call that a beach day for sure. 41 in Fayetteville. We got 45 and raining in the Bay. 45
raining in the Bay.
Yeah, 45 and raining in the man. They had them serious floods, man. The Most High was sending them floods out in Merced, the Bay Area, San Francisco. Hey, the Most High sent them floods out there for a minute, man. You got family out that way, y'all? Y'all good?
Yeah, all in Oakland, 60s, 70s, 80s, and Gulf.
Yeah. It was good out there?
Yeah, everybody's straight.
All praises, right? It's 43 in New York. Sister says she in Chicago. Ooh, the Windy City.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Windy City. South Jersey. You know, the other one from Jersey City. Shout out to Jersey City. Brother said he in Jacksonville where 65 at. Shout out to Duval. Let me see. Who else? 37 in Cincinnati. There's no reason for me to be in Cincinnati. It's cold out there. She said Dallas is bipolar. It will be mid-60s tomorrow. You should come out here though. Now I'm thinking about moving out there, sis. Not coming. I'm coming to stay. Right, Dallas, Houston area. Lord willing, if it's in the Lord's will. Right? If it's in the Lord's will. Right, so let's get into this lesson now. Let's get into the lesson. Right, if brothers got precept, sisters got precept. She said it's 42 in North California. Right, if brothers got precepts, sisters got precepts. Make sure you post them in the chat. You know, I got my news reporter Sister Notch is out in the building. She's gonna come swiftly if I have any questions concerning media outreach, media outlook, right? I appreciate you for that too, sis. We didn't have a formal conversation, but I know you got me. I know you got me, right? Yep. We might, yeah, Lord willing, right? So let's get into it. The pregame, episode 5, man. Episode 5, that's a special number for me, man. That was my football number. That's being carnal, but it was right. Foster 5, right? That was me. So, right, the lesson title, it for the long haul. Even Theo said he even thinking about moving to Dallas. Let's do it. Hey, that's all I need is one brother. One brother. That's all I need. One brother, and we out. Let's do it. Right? That's all we need, y'all. 2 brothers. Hey, Yahweh Shah, let's get that real quick before we start. How was Yahweh Shah? Hey, somebody. I already gave the answer. Let me see. I already gave the answer. Right? Let me mark 6 and 7. Let me mark 6 and 7.
It's the book of Mark, chapter 6 and verse 7.
Hold on, let's go up a little quick. He was amazed at like faith. Hold on, let's go up a little bit. Let's go up. Start at verse 1. Let's just see. Let's see.
It's the book of Mark, chapter 6 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And he went out from thence and came into his own country, and his disciples followed him. And when the Sabbath day was come, he began to teach in the synagogue.
Right.
And many hearing him were astonished, saying, From whence hath this man these things? And what wisdom is this which is given unto him, that even such mighty works are wrought by his hands?
Mm-hmm.
Is not this the carpenter, the son of Mary, the brother of James, of Joseph, and of Judah, and Simon? Are not his sisters here with us? And they were offended at him.
Right. Hey, they was offended at Yahweh Shah's teachings, miracles. They have what? That's hating. That's hating. That's envy. Yeah. They was hating of Yahweh Shah, right, of his teachings and the miracles that he did. Right. He coming to the. Hey, that's a cut too, because brothers be trying to throw that out there. You can't. You're supposed to stay in the house on the Sabbath day. Hold on, Yahweh Shah went out on the Sabbath day and began to teach, right, in the synagogue. And we, as the bruised, the Israelites, we mimic that same sentiment. We go out into the streets, right? That's our synagogue, in these streets, right? Into the highways and byways. We was called to do that. The brothers that got schools, hey, that's their synagogue, right? That's their school. Right? They go out and teach on their Sabbath days. Continue to read out.
But Yahushua said unto them, A prophet is not without honor, but in his own country.
And that's a fact too. Right, a prophet is not without honor. Meaning what? Everybody loves a prophet, but in your own country, right? Your own family, your own friends, your own city, your own circle. Yo, you're gonna be without honor. You reading that Bible, man? We ain't on that Bible. You talking about keeping commandments? And can't eat pork, can't eat shrimp, crab, lobster. That's a part of the long haul, right? When your family and friends start to turn against you.
Yeah.
She said, I'm in camp and I can't find. She said, I'm in Cali and I can't find a camp. Got to hit up brother Yarrow. Oh, he's out there. I don't know how far you is, but Cali's so huge and vast. Should be 3 states.
What part of
Cali you in? Just and we can help you. Just say what part of you in, just the city, right? But listen, it says a prophet is not without honor, but within his own country. And I like to dumb that down, within your own circle. How many of your friends still love you the same, right, since you came into this truth? Remember, I did that lesson. Since I came into truth, my people don't treat me the same.
Yeah.
Right? That's what happened.
If you finish that out, it's
Go ahead, bring it out.
And it says, a prophet is not without honor, but in his own country and among his own kin and in his own house.
Right? In his own country, his own kin, in his own house. You have no honor there. There's no love there.
Yeah.
Right? The people that you've known for years, the people that you've never switched on, even though they've changed a little bit, or they've went through different lifestyle changes and alterations, right?
Yeah.
But you want to start keeping the commandments of God and the faith in Yahweh Shai, that's when it becomes a problem. That's when you start to lose some honor. That's when you
Uh,
start to lose some respect.
Especially because people they feel like, oh, I saw you do this. I know you. I
Yeah.
changed your drawers. Or I remember when you was running around doing this. You can't be that. And really, if they're not even angry with you, is they're more so angry at the because it's a reflection upon them
Yeah.
when you clean yourself up. That's why what Paul said, Galatians 4:16, have I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth?
That's
That's
right.
what happens.
Hey, that's real, right? And that's let me get this precept just on that point,
Yeah.
because this is all gonna tie. I didn't have this plan, but this is all gonna roll right into it, right? You
Look,
sisters, hey, you sisters, right? You're gonna be teaching that, yo, you need to respect your husband. You need to be submissive, sis. You're too loud sometimes. Take them long eyelashes off, right? You could have, but in moderate. If you want to wear them, that's on you. But just tone them down a little bit. Hey, sis, you showing too much. Sis, you not gonna be respected for that. You're not going to be. Man, me and LOZ was teaching a sister about 2-3 weeks ago, and she said, "I don't want to be a wife." She
mm-hmm.
literally was walking outside with lingerie on. Y'all think I'm playing? Hold on, let me show them real quick. They think I'm playing. The sister had lingerie on outside, literally. Let me see if I can find the brother's video right quick. I was surprised. Not really. No, I wasn't. I was not. I was not surprised because that's normal, right? That's a normal thing.
Florida is different out there, boy.
Yeah, you talking about Miami, South Beach, right? Hold on, let
Yeah.
me find the brothers right quick. Say something real quick.
Con. But it's crazy because Yahweh Shah did say that the foes gonna be those of your household, and that's why when you actually get into understanding the long haul in the book of Luke, chapter 14, that's when he says, listen, if you love your mother or father more than me, then you can't be my disciple. Now, of course, that doesn't mean hate them, but I mean you're gonna choose Yahweh Shai and his truth over your family and anybody else because man, I tell you, that's one of the hardest things is to have everybody that was your foundation throw you out for this truth, man. And a lot of people get tripped up right there. If we read Mark 4 about how the different seed was sown,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hard. Sometimes this walk does get lonely, but that's the importance of getting with a body and congregating with people. Yeah, I saw this video. It's great.
Yeah, right here. Yo, this sister had nothing on. Like, even our sisters, y'all have this same right because the scriptures speak about prophetess, right? So let's big up our sisters a little bit, right? Y'all gonna be downplayed, gaslighted, and called servants and slaves because you want to submit to your husband and dress in moderation. That's your stereotype. You a slave. You a yes woman. You do whatever he say, right?
The pick me.
A pick me. Hey. I think they said on Clubhouse they called you a mammy. They call some of the Israelite sisters y'all as mammies
No,
for basically
stupid.
submitting.
That's stupid.
Right? Why would you say that? That's not the right definition for a mammy,
Right.
right? But this sister, that's literally what the sister said, man. I don't want to be married. I just want to do my. I never plan on being married. Did what she said. And look how she's
And
dressed.
look, and that is why we suggest. I personally suggest everybody invest in cat food and dog food because that's all they're gonna have later on is
That's it.
pets.
That's crazy, man. So even our women, right, are gonna go through this same unworthiness in your own circle, whether it's with your friends, family, your city, wherever you reside, you're gonna go through that, right? Humble lion, shalom, King Yahweh Shema Shabrakatah. Keep going on that. Let's get the point though.
Con.
Keep going.
All right, I had dropped that. I'll go
Jump
back.
to verse 7, Mark 6 and 7.
Yeah. Okay. Going back to Mark. All right, 6 and 7. Okay. And he calleth unto him the 12, and began to send them forth by two and two.
Right? Hey, and that's what I'm telling Theophilus, man. Hey, by 2 and 2, right? That's all you need is one other. Hey, sometimes you see a brother by himself teaching. He may have a cameraman or he may post the camera up on the ground, right? Right? If you got that spirit, go ahead. Hey, but Yahweh shall send the men out two and two. So two people in this city, two people in that city. That's all you need to go out and do this work. It's one other brother. And y'all need to be hitting the streets. Right? Make sure you're equipped with the doctrine and the word and what you're gonna bring out, right? And the skill, be studied first, get under some elders, but all you need is two brothers, man. So hey, you move the dollar side, we're gonna do it. Right? We're gonna do it. Right? So let me get the first scripture. Let's go to Colossians real quick. Let's go to Colossians 2, and let's start at 6.
2 and who?
2 and 6.
All right, it's the book of Colossians, chapter 2, and verse number 6. And it reads, as ye have therefore received Yahweh HaMashiach, the Lord, so walk ye in him, rooted, built up in him, and established in the faith.
Hey, right there, and rooted and established in the faith. This is number one. Put a number one, put the number sign and then one. This is the number one way to stay in this thing for the long haul. You got to be rooted in the faith, meaning you're not wavering, right? You're not wavering. You're not turning to the left hand or to the right. You could do as Sirach said, you could see what is evil for you and get away from it.
Yeah.
Once you start dibbling and dabbling, you're going to fall short. So number one, you got to be rooted and built in him and established in the faith. That's number one. Put that in the chat, man. Established in the faith. We got to be established in the faith. Yahweh Shai said that we had the faith of a mustard seed, man. That's the smallest, this pin top. Look how small that is. If you had that amount of faith, man, you'll be able to move a mountain.
Come on.
So imagine if you just had half of that faith, a quarter of that faith, right? That's what that's what the long haul is about. You got to know what you rooted in, what you established in, what you built up in, right? You got to build. You can't build your house on no sandy crib, no sandy landscape, right? You see what happened in Fort Myers? They was on a sandy landscape, and now Fort Myers Beach is finito, done. They might as well start over. Telling you, I rolled through it. They might as well just knock everything down and start over. They wasn't established on nothing. They wasn't built on nothing, right? But us, we built on the foundation of Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. That's the strongest foundation you can have if you believe. If you believe, if the people believe, that's the foundation they got to be built on. Right? You got something? I seen you turning the page. You got something?
Khan, I was loading up Mark chapter 4.
Bring it out.
Bring it out, yeah. Yep. All right, this is the book of Mark chapter 4, and I'll start at 14, right? Because really what brought me here is chapter 7, verse 17, but we'll read, 14 on down, all right? The sower soweth the word, and these are they by the wayside where the word is sown. But when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the word that was sown in their hearts. So, man, I tell you, a lot of times that some people get shaken in their faith on that. They'll be out there teaching, they'll be out there, really kind of trying to bring it out. And then a distraction comes, nobody want to listen to them. Satan just basically taking it away. And a lot of times people get discouraged and they fall back. But it's all right, because you got to understand that this is going to happen in your walk. It's part of the ride. It's the condition of the battle, and keep it going. Don't let it shake you off, right? And verse 16. And these are they likewise which are sown on stony ground, who when they have heard the word, immediately receive it with gladness, right? But this is the problem. And have no root in themselves.
Right there.
And so endure but for a time. Afterward, when affliction or persecution arises for the word's sake, immediately they are offended. So you see, that can't be you. You gotta, if you get this, learn, study, and get that root in your Yahweh Shai. So then that way, when affliction happens, you're not kicked out. You can endure, and you can be in it for the long haul. All
That's
right.
right.
Especially if Satan didn't immediately take it away when you got this, you need to understand why you believe what you believe. Ask questions and understand. So then that way you got that. You battle tested, right? All right, and I'm gonna finish this out. And these are they which are sown among thorns, such
Mm-hmm.
as hear the word, and the cares of this world, and deceitfulness of riches, and the lust of other things entering in, choke the word.
Hey,
And
that's I must say for me, and not really, but for a lot of people that I talk to in the truth, right? And I'll throw me in there. That's about 70 to 75% of the battle. It's the outside world, the world.
yeah,
When that outside world start to hone in and start choking you, right? You on Instagram, Facebook, your job, everything just is too much. YouTube and you kind of start detouring. That world will choke you out, man.
yeah,
That's why it's so important to try to stay in this book as much as possible, because that world will the cares of this world will start to choke you out. Man, I ain't as successful as some of my brothers and my sisters in the world, man. Or they doing this, I want to do that. I miss this right here. I miss that right there, right? And them cares of the world will choke you out and have you losing your foundation. How
yeah.
have you start slipping, and you gotta immediately notice that and be aware of that, and you gotta talk to somebody about that.
Con,
I'm telling people, man, it's so important to talk to your brothers and sisters in this truth. If you're going through something, you gotta be able to vent and be able to let it out to a brother or sister that you trust. Notice I said that you trust, right? You gotta be able to do that. Hey, Shalom, Captain Malachi in the building. Shalom, you gotta be able to do that, right? Go ahead, finish that out. All right?
con. All right. Okay, so and the cares of this world and the deceitfulness of riches and the lusts of other things entering in choke the word and become unfruitful.
Mm.
And these are they which are sown on good ground, such as hear the word and receive it, and bring forth fruit, some 30-fold, some 60, and some 100. So that's what you want to do. That's what you want to strive for. And hey, understand on the flip side, as a teacher, did you never know which which one of these examples you could be teaching right now. So you don't obviously everybody wants the latter, everyone wants them their fruit to remain and multiply and all of that stuff. But if you're teaching someone and the word gets put on a stony ground or on sandy ground, it's okay. Keep doing your job and endure for the long haul. And then make sure that you are also keeping it. You don't become like it says in Sirach, what's that, 37-19, when it says you profitable unto other people, but not unto yourself.
That's a cut scripture.
You
Hey,
know?
that's the part of being in it for the long
Con,
haul, right? Because
con,
you'll start doing it. You got to check yourself. That's why to examine yourself. 2 Corinthians 13:5 is so important. Examine yourself, because a lot of times you could be doing the truth for the wrong reason. You
con.
could be doing the truth for the fame, to be in the limelight, for the clout,
Mm-hmm.
for the high that leadership. You've never been a leader and you've been placed in that position now, so you take advantage of that, right?
It's a lot of
Some,
that.
some sisters never been in that leadership role, right? And now you start to try to take advantage of that. Some sisters may think they know more than their husband, right? And you may, right? And you start to weigh him down, right? With that,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you got to make sure you doing this walk for the right reason, man. You got to be profitable unto yourself, right? Because
Salaki, I got that. I got it ready.
bring it out real quick.
This is Sirach chapter 37-19. It says, there is one that is wise
Mm-hmm.
and teacheth many.
Teach many things. You wise and you teach many things, sis. Sis, you wise and you can teach many things. But what?
And yet is unprofitable to himself.
But you unprofitable to yourself. So them same lessons, them same teachings that you talking about, you ain't doing it. You're a hypocrite.
Mm-hmm.
And a hypocrite shall not stand before the Lord. We went into that, man. You a Jew. Actually, how Paul will call you is you a Jew outwardly. But inwardly, you're an open sepulcher, man. Inwardly, you're an open sepulcher, meaning a grave inwardly. You're a grave, you're dead inwardly. You a mannequin. You basically a mannequin, man. You look good on the outside and you dead within. You're a mannequin.
God.
Right? Don't be a mannequin in this truth, man. You gotta be what you teach, you also gotta be applying to your day-to-day life. Right? I can't be doing this thing for Adawan. I can't be out here in Florida doing it for Adawan Maya Kai. Right? I honestly can't even be doing it for SOT. And what I mean by that is I gotta make sure my walk is good too. Like if I'm only solely doing it for my account, I'm doing it for the wrong reason.
Right.
Because I'm putting the camp limelight above everything else, even though I do it for SOT because that's the congregation I'm in. As far as I'm pretty sure when the 12, they was doing it for the 12, obviously, right? David was doing it for the people that was surrounding him, right? However, they also was doing it for themselves most importantly, right? That doesn't mean you don't need no camp. The camps is wicked. I don't need no elder. That's not what I'm teaching. I'm teaching examine yourself, man. Make sure you're doing this for Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah, right? Glorying in that. If you glorying in any other reason, man, you're gonna start detouring because that's gonna be the reason you're doing it for. You're only gonna be going to camp for the cut, and we see it. We see brothers doing that.
Right. Yeah.
We see brothers doing that. Yo, you be in the back holding posts by the women. Soon as the scoffer come, you start creeping. You getting closer. Matter of fact, you start giving orders. Hey, y'all, stand right here, right quick. Stand right here. Closer, you get closer and closer. You edge it. Then you get closer. Oh, you got something to say now because you want a part. You want in on that cut. Nah, brother, you gotta play your role sometimes.
Yeah.
This truth is also about playing your role, man. We all got different roles, right? So brothers got to be aware that in it for the long haul. If you doing it for anything else other than your how about Shim Yahshua, you're doing it for the wrong reason.
And Salakia. So in a perfect example of this scripture and why it's important to be there for the long haul is, man, many people know that brother Yerushalayim, the dude, the drawback Jacob dude. Think about how many people his videos he brought in. Think about how many people. There was like a whole wave of people 5-6 years ago that were brought in based on this man's teaching. But for whatever reason, he fell out the truth, started doing aquaponics and all that other stuff, and because he did not stay in it for the long haul, So whatever he was doing, it was obviously unprofitable for himself because he fell out. And then I pray that brother come back in his truth, and the Most High kind of restore him in that, But you don't do that. Don't be sitting up here teaching folks, and then at the end of the day, you can't speak for yourself. Make sure you're doing it for the long haul. I'd rather, if that's the case, I'd rather stay there 10 toes down forever and only bring 5 people than to bring 1,000 people and I'm out.
There's a couple people in the chat out talking about, hey, look, Sister Natas, I say, man, he was one of the first videos I seen. I was one of them, Captain Malachi said, right? Brother, hey, sister's second con, right? Even it was a sister, right? She had like a preset, a video kit, and she was sending all his videos out. Sister Jetta, man, just sent to a brother or a sister that's new in the truth, just send some of his videos out. Videos got thousands and thousands of views, man. Right? But hey, man, the Most High sometimes, send you that strong delusion. Like the brother said, Lord willing, that brother come back in his walk, man. Right? But Lord willing, right? So let's get Mark 7 real quick. Let's get Mark 7.
All right. Mark chapter 7.
I want you to start at verse 24.
All right, this is the book of Mark, chapter 7, verse 24. And from thence he arose and went into the borders of Tyre and Zidon, and entered into a house, and would have no man know it, but he could not be hid. For a certain woman whose young daughter had an unclean spirit heard of him, and came and fell at his feet.
Matthew 7 and 24.
Okay.
Matthew 7 and 24, Salah. But that scripture is heavy too, because a lot of times we look at Yahushua as a character, right? Hey, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do this, like me and you. We're gonna find a title for it. When the pregame is over it, after the 12 episodes, we're gonna do Yahushua's parables, all of them. We're gonna run them down.
Wow.
The daily parable. We're gonna find a name. If you find a name in the chat, put the name in the chat if you could think of a name. We'll let the chat name it. Right? What we're gonna do? We're gonna read all the parables of Yahushua, all of them. We're gonna break them down thoroughly. We're gonna run them down. All the that's gonna be our next episode, right? Our next show, right? After the pregame is over with, right? But think of the life of Yahushua had, man. Every time he went into a city, he had to tell the brother, "Hey, man, tell nobody I'm coming through." But he could never hide himself, man. He could never. So imagine that every time you come in, he's a celebrity. Every time he come in, everybody want to take pictures. They want to autograph. He might be with his moms. He might be he want to just kick it with the 12. Maybe want to kick it with just John, Peter. He just want to chill, but they always flocking. Imagine his life. How much rest do you think Yahushua really got?
Oh, none.
Even when he was in the boat, I remember Yahushua, he was sleeping in the boat. They kept waking him up like, yo, the storm. We weathering the storm. Secrets of Yahushua. I like that. Hey, I like that. Hey, the volume of the book. Hey, given unto you to know the mystery. Hey, they coming in with the titles, man. Hey, I like this one, though. Secrets of Yahushua. I like this one, too. It was given to you, right? The volume of the book, too. You can't, hey, that's Yahushua. Hey, keep coming with them titles, man. We'll pick one. Right? We'll pick one. But think of the life of Yahushua. Right? Sometimes we just look at Yahushua as that character. Right? It like almost like a fictional character. Right? But this is a real man, had real problems, had real issues, and really died for you.
Right.
And he was able to get no rest. Every time he came into the city, they want to ask him questions, try to trip him up with questions. Right? So we got to put more respect on Yahushua's name, man. We got to definitely put more respect on it, man. Right? We got to teach Yahushua more. I remember we was on that vibe. We still on that vibe. Teach Yahushua more. That's why we in Matthew. Read that Matthew.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 24.
What it say?
Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him into a wise man.
Hey, and that's the same thing Sirach said, right? There is one that is wise and teaches many, but is unprofitable. Yahushua just said what? Therefore, whoever so heareth these sayings of mine and do. Not the hearers of the word shall be justified, but the doers of the word shall be. Who know that scripture is? Not the hearers of the word shall be justified, but the doers of the word shall be justified. Who know what that said? All right, somebody put that in the chat. Read that from the top again, verse 24.
All right. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him into a wise man, which built his house upon a rock.
Keep going.
And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon the house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock.
Right, and this is the foundation that we need. Who's that rock? What scripture proves that Yahushua is that rock? Somebody post that in the chat. He said Romans 2 and 3. Is that Romans 2 and 3? No, I don't think so. That's the precept to it, though. But that's not it. The hearers of the word shall be judged. Is that it? Let me see. Is that it?
Yeah.
2:13. That's it? Is that the one I'm thinking
of? This is Romans 2 and 13. For the hearers of the law are just before God, but the doers of the law shall be justified.
Okay, I was thinking of the one in James. I was thinking of the one in James 1 and 22. That's the one I was thinking about. But brothers is right. Brother Father Pat is right, and Ataria is right. Right? Right. So go back to that real quick. Go back to that Matthew 7, King.
Yep. All right. Verse 26.
Read 25 one more time for me.
25. Okay. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man.
So if you hearing the sayings, but you doing them not, you a hypocrite in the flesh, right? You a hypocrite really in your mind, and you be lying to yourself too. Hypocrites lie to themselves, right? They think they doing something, but really they not. They think they doing something, but really they're not doing it for real. They faking the funk, as we say, right? But if you established on that rock, yo, your foundation is strong. But if you hearing the words and not doing them, your foundation is extremely weak. I'm still waiting on that precept, the precept that shows that Yahweh Shai is that rock. That's the rock we got to be established on. Who know what I said in the chat? Where my scholars at? Where my precept scholars at? Right? Keep going out.
All right. Verse 27. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell. And great was the fall of it. And it came to pass, when Yahushua had ended these sayings, the people were astonished at his doctrine.
Hey, the people, they was astonished at his doctrine because he cut them. Right? You hearing the law of Moses, but you not doing the law of Moses. You hearing that we need faith in Yahweh Shai, but when troubles come, your faith goes out of the window.
Yeah.
Right? So you just a hearer of the word, and it says you're likened unto a foolish man. Right? And that's heavy.
Yeah.
Because we want to be doing the work. We say we grounded, we rooted, we in it for the long haul. Sister TT got it. Sister Natas, I keep saying Sister TT. Sister Natas, I got it. 1 Corinthians 10:4. So you put that precept right there. Right? You write that precept right by Matthew 7:25, because your house shot is that rock.
Hold on, I'm gonna read it.
Go ahead, bring it out.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10:4. And did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Christ.
And that rock is Christ. So when you built on that rock, you built on Christ. You established and built in him. That's why Paul is teaching that lesson, right, in Colossians. Right? That's why Paul is teaching that lesson. It's a quick question in the chat. It said, what? Is it a sin to tuck in your fringes? No, it's not a sin. I'm gonna be honest. At work, right? I tuck in my fringes at work. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I get tired of people asking me, Edomites. If it's Jake, I work with a lot of Edomites. If it's Jake, it's cool. What are those? Why you got that on? I'm tired of that. I don't be one. Don't stop asking me. Stop asking me. I don't ask you why you got that on. I don't ask you why you got blue on with light glow in the dark purple shoes is what people wear to my job. I don't ask you why you got them shoes on. Is that what you want to wear? That's what you want to do, right? It don't match the outfit that we supposed to wear, but hey, that's you. So why you asking me what I got on, right? But hey, I sometimes, and not all the time, but sometimes if they showing, because I think my fringes at work be blue. I wear a blue shirt, blue fringes on my shirt. Obviously that sticks out. Everybody like, what is that? Issa, what is that? What is that? What is this? What is that? Those curtains? And I really can't get into it and cut them how I want. So to save the back and forth and the stress, and it's not really stress, I just tuck them in, man. It's cool. Because I don't want
to. To expound on that, you got to remember the purpose of the fringes, okay? Yeah. And I'm going to read it right here, Numbers chapter 15 and 39, just to get the purpose, right? And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it and remember all of the commandments of the Lord and do them.
See, right? We don't. Sometimes I ain't gonna say brothers be adding to the law because that's going off, but brothers be rephrasing the laws. The fringes is not a fashion statement, so you can identify me. The scriptures is not for that.
Right.
The scriptures don't say that. The fringes is not for that. So I can write, hey, that's an Israelite over there. No, it's not what the fringes is for. The scriptures do not say that. Yes, it is an identifier. It can be, of course, obviously. Nobody else has it, especially with the ribbon of blue. But the scripture just said it's for you to know the commandments. So the only person that need to know that you got on fringes on is you, brother or sister. It's not for everybody. Especially at your job. It's not for all these Edomites to keep coming up. Yo, an Edomite tried to touch my fringes one time.
Yeah.
Oh, what is this? What is that? No, back up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Now you mad at me for tucking my fringes in, but if I slap the shit out of Esau's hand, right,
God.
is you gonna help me? Is you gonna help me because I got fired? Me and Esau was bumping at work, and I got
God.
fired. And you're not gonna help me. You're not gonna help me out. You're not gonna send me money until I find a new job. You're not, right? So it is what it is, right? It is what it is, right? And we understand what we teach, and we know what comes with it too. So, hey, brother or sister, see me with my fringes on, or like the Edomites at my job. I'm not afraid to confess what we teach, but they see that, they understand that, right? And I work
Mhm.
in a healthcare setting to where that what we teach is not conducive for that environment.
No.
It's not conducive. So it's better for me to just have my fringes on. And hey, man, I tuck my. Hey, sometimes if they come out, they come out. If you see them, you see them. I don't care. But for my sake, it's not that deep. It's not that
No.
deep. My fringes is for me. Read the scripture again.
Huh.
Hey, that's right. They always trying to touch somebody. I
All
can't say
right.
it.
All right. You want back in numbers, or are we back still back in Matthew?
Go back to numbers for the brother or sister that asked that.
All right.
Somebody asked another question. What if your job is forcing us to work on the Sabbath? All right. So you can hit us up at sonsofthunderisraelites@gmail.com. We can get you in contact with either Priest Sabak or Priest Kahan out of LOZ, and Priest Sabak and HOY, and we can get you a letter to try to switch that for you, right?
Mm.
We could get a letter to say that you practice this religion, right? You got to word it right,
Mhm.
religion, and you need your Sabbaths off. If, say for instance, right, they don't accept the letter. Hey, then sometimes I don't want my Kaya hit me with this, and here all the brothers with this on the captain's call, man. Right, and I ain't gonna say everything out, but I'm gonna teach on you. I don't want real quick. He said this. He said, "Man, listen, I had to drop 100,000. Salaki. I ain't 100,000. He didn't say that. I made that up. He said I had a good paying job. He didn't say no number. He said he had a good paying job, right? And he had to drop it because they wanted him to work on the Sabbath too much. And some brothers and sisters got to be able to risk that faith,
Yeah.
right? That's what we're talking about right now, right? Now, if this job is helping you and you need it for a time being, hey, you got to do what you got to do. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do for the time being, and that's when you lean on your house shot, right?
Yeah.
But in the midst, you should be active to find a job that can probably pay you either the same or better. But hey, man, I get it, man. Sometimes you've been in the job 15 years, you trying to get that 401k and that good retirement. I get it. 20 years you've been at the job. You only got 5 years left, but they requiring for the next 5 years to work on the Sabbath. We're a practical camp. So we're not gonna just tell you to quit your job. I'm not Yaquap. See, brothers that say, quit your job, brother. That's the Sabbath. But brother, you're gonna call Yaquap, yo, Shalom. Hey, I need some money. I don't have the money to pay your rent this month. I don't. I don't got it. I do not have half of your rent this month. I
Yeah.
do not have diapers for the next 3 months for you. Me personally, I don't have it. So it's not wise for me to just be telling you to quit your job. But in the back end, I can't even help you. That's how we teach at SOT. That's practical. So if you gotta do it, or even a sister, then do it for a time being. Pray with brothers.
And see, and you could see if you could switch shifts with somebody.
Yeah, that too. That
You
too.
know, just see what all you can be done. You know.
They kind of the one they tried to. It was a sheet of my. She tried to touch. She said it looked like a curtain and tried to grab it. I had to hit a football move. I had to hit a step back. Like, oh wait, don't touch. You can look, but don't touch. And then from that day, that's what made me start tucking in my fringes. To be honest, I was like, she ain't about to be touching my fringes. This is not going down, right? And then you gotta know how to set that boundary with Esau too. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We cool at work. We here. I might as well be cool with you. Make the time go by fast. We're gonna talk whatever you want to talk about. I'll talk about it, right? But the touchy, huggy, I'm not really. I'm more aloof. Is the word more distant, right? Right. I'm a little bit more reserved when it comes to touching. That's what aloof means. distant or reserved, right? Either might better keep their hands to themselves or get slapped. That's right, right. So let's get back into it. Let's go to Hebrews 10.
All right.
Hebrews 10 and 22. Hebrews 10 and 22.
It's the book of Hebrews, chapter 10 and verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
And it reads, oh, this is 11, slack. And it reads,
Hey, look at the faith of this brother you called, man. Hey, he said, hey, I walked out on my job, and Esau called me back and said, sorry, you can
oh, praise
have
it.
a day off. All praises. Hey, all praises.
And then I tell you one thing, you can let it be known from the jump. For all you brothers that's or sisters that's getting a new job, you can let it be known from the very top. As soon as I'm hired, I mean, you don't have to do that in the interview, but once you're hired, you can kind of set it out there, and then that way the expectation is what it is.
Hey, I would say this, you have to say that in the interview. To me personally, when I soon as we get into the interview process, maybe right, because you know when a job is about to hire you or not, right? And this is a little detour, but this got to be taught too, right? Because this is also ties into being in it for the long haul, right? You got to let them know early that you need that off. So you ain't get your expectations up. They ain't got theirs up. You about to get higher. And then it's like, nah, you can't have your salary. You got to let them know, hey, listen, you go through the first interview, soon after that first interview, like I said, not probably the first interview, but when they give you that call back, like you got the job immediately. By the way, too, I need, I keep the Sabbath day. You don't gotta say your religion. All you gotta do is say, I keep the Sabbath. Then people always ask me, what's your religion? I say, I just follow the Bible wholeheartedly. I don't tell them I'm no religion. I just say I follow the Bible. This is my exact words. I follow the Bible wholeheartedly, and I try to do what it says. And one of the things it says is to keep the Sabbath day. So I keep the Sabbath day, and I need that off Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. That's it. Hey, have faith in that interview, straight up. Right. And that's what I say. And then they always hit me with, well, I'm gonna get you in contact with HR. I need you to send a letter. Fine. Hey, you know what I put in that letter? Every Sabbath precept, word, not just the scripture, word, because I want you to read it. Word from Exodus 20, right? If it could say the same thing, because Deuteronomy 5 is where you can find the 10 Commandments again. I put that too. I put every Sabbath precept known to man. I put it in that letter, and I put it word for word, verbatim. Right, and now you can't get away. I put the scripture, put book, chapter, verse. Hey, and I want you to read it. Right, and they not reading it, but it's just a long letter, and they know you serious for that. You serious about it. So if you ever got to send a letter to your job concerning any scriptures, put the entire scripture, put not the precept, but the scriptures that's just saying the same thing over and over and over. A different book, different chapter. Just put all the precept, because it looks like, oh, he really stand on this. That's what it make it look like, right? So all praises for that. All praises. So let's go to that Hebrews 10 and 22.
Because this is Hebrews chapter 10, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
Let us draw near with a true heart in full assurance of faith.
Right, and when you walking into that job interview, like I don't want to say, you got to have full assurance, man.
Yeah.
You got to have full coverage. What they said, all state stands, man. You got to stand on your house shot. You got to have full. Your house shot is your insurance, your only insurance. You got to stand on your house shot, man. You got to have full, because your house shot is the only thing that has full coverage, man. Right? He died for you. He died for you. Number one, your wicked ass. Right? And then, if you fall short, you can rely on him. If you fall short, you're not doing it willingly. So that's full coverage, man. And it's free. Mm-hmm. Free of charge. Right? Insurance never made sense to me. I got to pay every month, but you never give me my money back if I don't use it. Why? Right? Your house shot ain't dealing like that, man. Mm-hmm. Hey, you use your house shot properly. Hey, he said he could give you the kingdom at the end.
Right.
So that's how you know the hypocrisy of Esau.
Incorruptible crown.
That incorruptible crown, man. We're going to read that. We're going to definitely get into that. Right? Because that's a part of the faith. It says, let us draw near with a true heart, man, in full assurance of faith. Mm-hmm. So you got to have full coverage in this faith, full assurance in this faith, man. That's that long haul. Not deviate. Once you start deviating, man, I'm telling you, your faith, Because in the truth, you can only be doing two things: either going forward or going back. And the truth is really not neutral.
Con.
You might say, "Well, lukewarm is neutral." Lukewarm is meaning you went backwards. Because if the longer you stay lukewarm is when your house is gonna spew you out of his mouth. So it's only one way to go from being lukewarm too long. That's falling out.
Con.
You either
And
got to be. Go
how I
ahead.
said, look, either you on the way or in the way.
Yeah, that's
Period.
real. Ain't no in between. Because
Mhm.
if you blocking, you still in the way. You think you in between, but you blocking. Nah, don't be blocking. Man. We gotta keep going forward in this walk. You gotta keep moving forward. Read that scripture from the top again.
All right. Let us draw near with a true heart and full assurance of faith, having our hearts sprinkled from an evil conscience
Mm-hmm.
and our bodies washed with pure water.
Yeah, that's a good baptism precept too. With our bodies washed with that pure water, meaning you have made a change. Right?
Mhm.
Keep going.
Let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering.
And that's the key. That's why I wanted the scripture. You gotta hold fast to this. You gotta hold fast. Hey, what it said is it's a fire on the right and deep waters on the left when you read Second Ezra chapter 7.
Con.
So so you can't be moved. You can't be like a tree shaking when something go wrong. Because if I was to ask a lot of people, right, and I talk to a lot of people here and there, why they feel like they either weak in the spirit or weak in the flesh, right? And you start to ask people 9 times out of 10, it's stress, right? And they like that one. I say you either on the way or in the way, straight up 100, right? Either the one of the main reasons you start lacking in faith is because of stress.
Mhm.
You start to feel like Yahweh Shai through Yahweh ain't gonna get you through it. That's what you start to feel like. So then you start leaning on your own understanding.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that again. The reason you start to lack faith, want to stop keeping the commandments, is you feel like Yahweh Shem Shai ain't gonna get you through it, and you start leaning and reverting back to that old man trying to do it yourself, and forgetting you're supposed to be in the spirit and in the faith as much as possible at all times, right? And I don't want y'all always say this, man. Think about it. When has Yahweh Shem Shai never? When has he not gotten you out of a situation? So every situation that you've ever been in, think back on think. I want brothers and sisters to think hard, because this is why you kind of fall back. It's because of stress. I want you to think back as far as you can. When has Yahweh Shai not gotten you out of a situation that you was in? I could say for myself zero every time. So there hasn't been a time where I didn't get through it. So why are you struggling in the faith? Why are you struggling in the walk? Why are you ready to quit? Why have you gotten now weary in the spirit? Because you start doubting, we're stressed and depressed because the soul is hungry for the word, but it's not being fed. That's real. That's real, Ezra.
I got a precept real quick. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 38 and verse 18. For of heaviness cometh death.
Mm,
For the heaviness of heart breaketh strength.
mm.
In affliction also sorrow remaining. In the life of the poor is the curse of the heart. Listen, take no heaviness to heart. Drive it away. Remember the last end. So don't let that stress and that heaviness of heart just wear you down. Drive it away. Remember it at the end. Remember these promises. Okay, stay in it for the long haul and remember what the incorruptible crown that we going for. All right. That's why in Ecclesiastes 7 and 8 it says, "Listen, the end of a thing is better than the
The
beginning of a
beginning of
thing,
the thing. That's
and
real.
better is a patient in spirit than prideful." Basically, I'm paraphrasing. So a lot of times, you start off good and strong, and then something happens, and then you get knocked off. but it's better to finish something because then you can show your trials that you went through. You can show the faith that you stood on, and you can show that you had a true patient spirit. As opposed to just you happy, you bragging because you just started something, you just started to walk. So that's why you have this, you get over this, you get over those trials, and then that way in the end, when you can get that crown, you can be something. You have something worth being proud of.
That's right. That's right. Hey, look at this statement. This is a real statement. And this the first step of stop being lukewarm. I'm gonna be real. I've been lukewarm and living with so much shame. That's the first step is you gotta admit it.
Yeah.
If you know where you at in this truth, look, she came on live. I think that's the sister. Came on live, right? And
Like
admitted that
Enrique.
publicly,
I
right?
mean, Enrique, that's a brother.
Enrique Salaki, Enrique, that's a brother, Enrique. And admitted that in front of admitted that in front of 64 brothers and sisters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just admit it. That's the first step. Is knowing that you lukewarm, but now you got to switch the statement. Now you got to start saying, "Yo, I ain't gonna be lukewarm no more." And it's day by day. Some days gonna be better than others, but it's a day by day progression in this walk. Right? Let's go to Sirach 30.
The book
Sirach 30.
of Sirach or Ecclesiasticus in your Apocrypha, chapter 30. Where you want to start it?
Verse 21.
Yeah. All right. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 30, verse 21. Give not over thy mind to heaviness,
Mm-hmm.
and afflict not thyself in thy own counsel.
That's number 2, right? When you're dealing with that stress and the truth that's making you waver, right? You got to give your mind not over this. It says what? Give not thy mind over to heaviness. Why? What did Yahushua teach? By worrying, you cannot grow an inch taller,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can't. So you can only control the things that you can control. If it's out of your control, don't stress about it.
Yeah.
If it's out of your control, just let it be. Yahweh will handle that, and everything that you can control in the spirit, you can control. You maneuver it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if it's out of your control, what can you do about it? And a lot of times, we stress about a lot of stuff that's just out of our control. And then it's out of your control, but then you try to start to control it, and you can't. And it's taking you down this rabbit hole, right? And Sirach is teaching you don't give your mind over to that, man. Right? Even that statement, I've been lukewarm and living with so much shame. Even though it's a true statement, we got to be more positive towards ourselves, right? Me personally, there's not a bigger critique than myself, but I've noticed I beat myself up too much in my critiques. When the last time you patted yourself on the back? That was a good job, yo. I accomplished that. You rarely do that. You real humble in that situation, which I mean, it's good, right? You don't want to be, prideful in it, but you overly humble and when you do something good, but you do something bad and you knocking yourself across the head, man. You punching the wall, and you gotta have that balance to where you're not beating yourself up too much, man. We're gonna make mistakes in this walk, in this life, right? Stuff is gonna happen, and some stuff you gotta learn how to just say. My pops taught me this at a young age: F it. Period. If I can't control it, F it.
Right.
Right? I think it's a book. Let me get the book title real quick. I ain't into really making too many books, the making of too many books. But it says the book is called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F. Sometimes in some situations, if you can't control it, you just gotta know how to say F it, man. It is what it is. This happened. I might have made the mistake. That person might have made the mistake. Or it was me in my own walk, in my own trying to do good, and I fell short. Hey, man. Right? It's like the worldly parable, man. Every failure, it's only a failure if you stay down, man.
Right.
Right. It's a success if you learn from that. It's success if you learn from that failure.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta. It's the way we think about things is what I'm trying to get people to understand.
It's like when they said, "Look, I never lose. I either win or I learn."
Yeah, that's it. You cannot lose. We can either win or learn in this world. Right. So read that scripture one more time.
All right. This is Sirach again, chapter 30 and 21. Give not over thy mind to heaviness, and afflict not thyself in thine own counsel.
And then we be afflicting ourselves in our own counsel. We beating ourselves up, beating ourselves up across the head. Keith Sanders said that failure is a lesson. Beating ourselves up. I'm a person, I be talking to myself. Like when I do something wrong, I talk to myself and I'm hard on myself, calling myself all kinds of names and everything. Brother, I had to think, I'm like, what is you doing? Like, that don't make sense. You beating yourself up too much. And sometimes you're not giving yourself enough credit because you actually try when most people don't even have the wherewithal to try. And that's real. Hey, sister, Hebrew daughter said, man, I'm gonna pray for you. Hey, we all gonna pray for you, man. We all gonna pray for you, Enrique, right? Because we need you to be on fire on this thing, right? Hey, but sometimes it's gonna happen. Like I'll be lying to you if I say, yo, me, Captain Yaquab, yo, I never get weary in the faith. I never get weary in the spirit. I never get weak. I'll be lying to you. But this is what I had to do, and I had to learn to combat it and then come and teach y'all. This is what I have to do. So read verse 22.
Verse 22. The gladness of the heart is the life of man.
So you got to get back to the thing, because a lot of times in the truth, brothers act like you can't be happy. So sometimes you got to get back to the things that make you happy in this walk. Sometimes you got to get back to this thing. If you used to like going on walks on the beach just because you were brewed, now that don't mean you can't go on your walks on the beach. If you used to like mimosas on Sundays, that don't mean you got to stop doing that. Sometimes you got to go back to the things that made you happy, even the things that made you happy, if it was righteous. Right? So that just because it's worldly doesn't mean it's not righteous.
A lot of times, well, we get in the truth and we forget to take the fun out of it. You can have fun and make the truth fun, especially y'all who got kids or something. You know, brother, look, if you in there, you trying to get your spouse into the truth, look, maybe go to the beach on the Sabbath and have a lesson there. Get a tent and y'all have a lesson there. I
done did that before. I done went to the beach when I first moved to Fort Myers. There was no brothers around. You know, nobody. Me and my rib. You know, we go to the beach and we read there.
Yeah.
We still in the spirit. We got our chairs set up. You know what I'm saying? We got our sandwiches, cooler with some ice and waters and juice and look, yayan. Yeah, we read a few scriptures. Hey, and then chill on the beach. And glory at the Most High, man. Glory to look at the beach, the sunset, the water, how it come back and never pass a point. We start reading those scriptures in Job, right? Because the scriptures got so many lessons in them, and it's so real. The scriptures is just so real. That's 1,000 that every aspect of life can be brought out through the scriptures if you know how to use it. You say your niece said that sounded relaxing. It definitely was. It definitely was. Right. So read the finish that out. 22.
Verse 22. The gladness of the heart is the life of man. In the joyfulness of a man prolongeth his days.
And it says the joyfulness of a man can prolong your days. So if the opposite of joy, anger, frustration, stress, right, that's gonna shorten your days. So we gotta stay in that joyful spirit, man. And I feel like that joy comes from within. Like I always ask people, what's the difference between joy and happiness? That's a good question. What's the difference? And to me, I say joy is what would come with. I wake up joyful. Happiness has to be brought to me. You get a new car, I'm happy. Buy a new house, I'm happy. That has to be brought to me, right? Something has to be done. But when you joyful in spirit, you wake up that way. Would you take your kids to Disneyland? Yes, I would. Hey, Aharon, what was just talking about 3 weeks ago? Keep it real. Keep it real. Like what we was talking about.
We was talking about Disney World out there in Florida.
Yo, we got 2 young daughters. We ain't about to get into the spirit of Disney World. We're gonna do it in the truth. We're gonna have our fringes on, daughters.
We're gonna have camp right by Toontown. We're gonna have camp right there.
Hey, that's real. We probably honestly, if we be out there, we probably gonna have camp with WFI Orlando. Most likely. Most likely we're gonna go have camp. Hey, and then we're gonna go to Universal, Island of Adventure, Disney World. Hey, man. Right? Sometimes we get caught up in people, what people think too much. Show me why I broke a commandment. If I ain't break no commandment, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay that you don't want to do it. But if I didn't break a commandment, hush. Right? If I didn't break no commandment, There's no two or three witnesses against me. Shh, be quiet. Right? Keep going. Verse 23. This is the point. Enrique, this for you. This is the point right here.
Verse 23. Love thine own soul.
Right? Hey, we gotta love our own soul, man. Stop beating yourself up so much.
And
Stop beating.
comfort
Stop. Go ahead. Go ahead.
and comfort thy heart.
Come on.
Remove sorrow far from thee.
Hey, and remove sorrow far from me, man. Take off the burdens of the world.
Yeah.
You got the burdens of the world on your shoulder. For what? Yahweh Shai already carried the hardest burden. All you got to do is have faith in it for the long haul. Yahweh Shai already carried the hardest burden. He had to die for some wicked Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American and us scattered abroad. That was a heavy burden. A righteous man. Right? All we got to do is have faith and trust in it. Right? But when you got them, when you stuck on them sorrows and cares of the world, you're not trusting in the process, man. Because that is supposed to refine you. That's why you got to learn how to take it with joy. I'm going through this, yes. Right? The Most High said, whom he chastised, and that's who he loved.
Right.
Right? Keep going on that.
All right. Remove sorrow far from thee, for sorrow hath killed many.
Hey, sorrow has killed many.
Yeah.
This is my attitude. This has been my attitude lately. I just like keeping it real with y'all, man. I got to. This has been my attitude lately. Since I've been going to work. Yo, work is killing me. It is. I feel like the more I go to work, is the closer I'm getting to the grave. But I gotta change my attitude, man. At least I got a job, dummy.
Yeah.
At least you got one. That's the attitude I gotta start. I ain't saying I gotta be this star worker and I'm about to go to the highest level at giant. No. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I'm gonna do just above the bare minimum. I'm gonna do everything I'm supposed to do and a little bit more so I could stay out the way. That's my mentality at work. Do a little bit more than what I need to do so I can stay out the way. I don't want my bosses calling me, hitting me up, emailing me, don't talk to me. I want to stay out the way, right? But my mentality lately is, yo, bro, my job, bro. Like, I hate it. It's killing me. I hate this place. And I do. But we also got to be thankful that Yahweh Shai gave us that job.
Yeah.
We got to be thankful that Yahweh gave us that job. It's just I've been feeling the same way. Then I remember I have a good job. That's facts. That's right. We are yet this day in our captivity, y'all. That's real. That's real. That's real. Hey, and so I gotta start saying, man, all praise, I got a job, man. And just go in, do it, and be out. Right? Do it and be out. We don't gotta be an A student on the job. Yeah, but you don't, but also you do want to have that. You do want to have that good name at your job, because a good name is rather to be chosen than silver and gold. So your name at your job should be, hey, yo, that brother Theophilus, he quiet. You know what I'm saying? He don't really say much, but hey, you ask him a question, he on it. He has good work ethic. That's the word. He has good work ethic. He on time, right? He take his lunch. He don't really bother nobody, but hey, when it's time to get the job done, hey, he on it. He on it. So you just want to have that. That's why I say just above the bare minimum, just above, right? So you have that good name, right? And also you got to know how to use the system, man, because you sometimes at my job it's a team job. So sometimes I need to. I'm gonna go help somebody, just so down the line I know you have to now. You have no choice.
Yeah.
You're gonna have no choice. I'll throw it in your face, that job, because at the job, hey, I don't hold you to the same standards, Esau. I don't. So hey, but then you gonna help me. Remember I helped you? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm that type of person at the job. Remember I helped you? Oh yeah, I remember. And then come on, let's do it. But removing sorrow from our lives, man. We have too much baggage, too much stress. We don't talk about it. We hold it in. Yo, I definitely hold all mine in. To be honest, I hold all mine in. And Lord willing, I don't blow up. So me personally, I need to start working on ways to letting it out.
Yeah, that's essential, man, because years of, just being angry with this truth and not enjoying any of the things about this truth, man, that's a problem, man. And I tell you, especially coming out of the world. Look, we got more feast days, we got more love and camaraderie, we got more reasons to enjoy this walk in the truth than you had in the world. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? When you think about it, every new moon should be like a Thanksgiving, so-called Thanksgiving. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You the Sabbath is a delight, man. It's
That's
a
real
day of
life.
rest. These feast days, it's an amazing thing. And so when you kind of reframe it and don't look at it as like an obligation or a responsibility, you are obligated to do it, but don't look at it as a burden, but more so an opportunity to take a pause for the cause and enjoy
Mm-hmm.
the most high. It will, man, it will take you a lot further, and what you're gonna need, because especially, man, if any of you are fortunate enough to talk to the elders who have been in this thing 30, 40 years, and you ask them, how do you do it? When I've asked them, some point in their response, they talk about enjoying it,
That's right.
not getting too caught up. Listen, not everyone the doctrine, don't get caught up in there. Listen, enjoy this truth, enjoy the people that you're doing it with, you know. Find something about this that you love and stick to that, because you're going to need it to do anything 30, 40 years,
Mm.
period.
That's real. Hey, that's real. Hey, read verse 24.
24. Envy and wrath shorten the life.
And that's a problem too. Because then you try to a lot of times too in this truth, you get complacent and you get envious of the world.
Yeah.
Right? We read that in the cares of this world, man. In that parable of Yahushua, right? So
Mhm.
that envy and wrath shorten life. So
Yeah.
you don't even know you envying got the cares of this world. You trying to keep up with the Joneses, right? Keep up with these rappers and millionaires or whoever you trying to keep up with. Yo, you shortening your life.
Mhm.
The only person you should be trying to keep up with is yourself. It's the only person you in competition with. I'm not in competition with Aharon. Aharon got his own life to live and his own struggles, ups and downs he got to deal with. So why am I in competition with his lifestyle? Never made sense to me. Not in competition with nobody's lifestyle. I'm in competition with my lifestyle. If I want to do better for myself, I'm not doing it because I want Aharon to see me doing it. I'm gonna do it because that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And guess what? I'm gonna put in the work to do it. So that envy and wrath can shorten the days. Keep going.
Right. So envy and wrath shorten the life, and carefulness bringeth age before the time.
Hey, what does that mean? What does that carefulness mean? Is that saying that's King's English? Is that saying you shouldn't be careful?
Uh,
What is it? In the chat, who knows what that's saying? I might read it in another translation for y'all. What is that? 30, what? 30 and
24.
24?
Yes.
30 and 24. All right. In the chat, what does that careful mean? It said 39. It's tripping. 30 and 24. I'm gonna give them some time. I'm gonna pull it up in a different translation. Uh, let's see. I really don't like it, so I'm gonna get it in another scripture. For nothing. Go to what up? Philippians 4:6.
All right. This is the book of
Hold on,
Philippians.
don't read it quite yet. Let me see what the chat say.
All right, I have it loaded.
I'm gonna try to keep up with your house shot. That's real. I seen your chat, sister. Me, I'm not gonna post that. That's a touchy situation. You should set up a council with us so we could talk about this in further detail. You should set up a council with us at Sons of Thunder Israelites at gmail.com. It's right here at the bottom under me. Um, and we should talk about that because your situation sometimes would have you get away, pack up, and start over. And I know that's hard and difficult, but if it is that persistent, sometimes that's what it may take, right? But don't follow that counsel right now, but I would definitely get counsel from the elders and brothers that know a little bit or definitely know more than me, so we could talk about that and get you on the right path, Sister Mina Israel, right? But let's get back to that. What does it mean, chat, when it says Envy and wrath shorten the life, and carefulness bringeth age before the time. What does that mean? In the chat, what does that scripture mean? The carefulness. What does that carefulness mean? Bringeth life, bringeth age before the time. Who could break that down? That's a good scripture, so right. The chat, I don't know if it's the chat lagging or brothers don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they know. I got this Philippians ready though.
Okay, read that.
All right, this is the book of Philippians, chapter 4 and verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving.
There you go. There you go. Brother hit it on the head right here. Be careful. Hey, now read Philippians again. I'm gonna read Sirach. Sirach 30 and 24. Listen good, y'all. Listen good. Envy and wrath shorten the life, and carefulness bringeth age before the time. And then what did Paul teach us?
It says, be careful for nothing.
Be careful for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why should you be careful for nothing? Because it bringeth forth age before the time. Read.
Right. But in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving.
So, but what everything, make sure you have prayer and supplication. So that carefulness means what Brother West put in here. I would lean more towards anxiety and stress. That's what it means. So don't have too much stress and anxiety. Right? Don't have too much of that. Instead, be grounded in the supplication, the prayer, and the fasting.
Mm-hmm.
That stress and anxiety can bring forth age before the time. Meaning it's only making you older. Hold on, let me get it somewhere else.
Let things happen in their season, man, in their due time.
That's right. Everything happens for a reason. Hold on, let's share the screen real quick. Let me share the screen. Let's get it in another translation. Yeah. Bear with me real quick, y'all. So let's share the screen. You'll end up dying early. You have to be rooted. That's right. Hold on, computer acting funky. There we go. Let me see it.
It's coming up.
Can you see that?
Yep.
So obviously the KJV. Hold on, this is not the really the one. I want the other one. Hold on. So I'm gonna hit this. I'm gonna hit parallel. Here we go. Bingo. All right, here, read this one out.
Which one?
Read the NIV. The NIV.
Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God.
That's what that means. So when Sirach said, envy and wrath shorten life, and carefulness, meaning anxiety, does what? Bringeth age before the time. So you anxious, you stressing. You overly stressing. Stress is good, but you overly stressing because sometimes stress can get you out of situation. That's kind of like fight or flight. Right? That can be good, but this is bad. You overly stressing. So what did Paul teach? He said, don't be anxious about nothing, man. But in every situation, pray and petition, right? But a lot of times we praying and petitioning in our lust. That gets you cut too.
Right.
Let me see another one.
A lot of times we ain't praying.
Read the Amplified one.
Do not be anxious or worried about anything. Yeah, do not be anxious or worried about anything. Yeah. But in everything, every circumstance and situation, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, continue to make your specific requests known to God.
That's all you got to do. Right? Hey, but sometimes you get in this spirit, yo, I'm so wicked, I don't even want to pray. That's the wrong spirit. That's definitely Satan every time. You get in that spirit, that is Satan telling you, right?
And a
That
lot of
is
times
Satan.
people be wanting that presto changeo, that microwave thing. Oh, I prayed right now. I
Mm-hmm.
need it today. You know, and it don't work like that. The Most High, He likens His judgment to a ring. You know,
That's right.
everything happened as on His time.
That's real, lot. That's real, right? And that's a good segue because I want to jump into this video, right? Because we got about 20, 30 more minutes. But before this, read Sirach 30 and 15. This is a detour from a lesson. I got a whole lesson. We only got 2 or 3 scriptures from the lesson, but it had to go this way. Obviously, Israel is stressing too much. We too anxious, and the care of the world is weighing us down in this walk. So obviously, Yahweh said, "Now teach it this way," and that's what we're doing with the chat. Y'all helping me, right? So let's read that. Read 15 now. Watch this.
Verse 15.
Wait,
Sirach,
14.
Sirach chapter 30 and verse 15. Health,
Wait, Salah. Start at 14 now. My bad.
verse 14. Better is the poor being sound and strong of constitution than a rich man that is afflicted in his body.
So it said it's better for you to be poor, being sound, meaning sound in mind, meaning obviously that means you know yourself. You in tune with yourself, right? And that's heavy too. Understanding how to be in tune with yourself, right? One of the main reasons we're not in tune with ourselves. I don't even know if I'm read it one more time, man. Read it one more time.
All right. Better is poor being sound and strong of constitution than a rich man that is afflicted in his body.
Dude, one of the main reasons you're not in tune with yourself is because of your insecurities that nobody sees. That's a lot of times you don't have a sound mind. You insecure about stuff that nobody else sees. Now, some insecurities some people do see. I'm not going to sit here and lie. But a lot of times, especially if you're in a marriage, you've been with somebody a couple years now, your insecurities, they don't even see them. They probably actually like them. They probably actually like your insecurities. But the reason we can't be healthy in mind, have a sound mind, is because you're insecure within. So you're fighting this internal battle all the time. Mm-hmm. So I'm here to tell you today, stop fighting that same internal battle. You gotta like your insecurity. That's why the Sirach said what? Further down, love thine own soul. Mm-hmm. And in what 23, he said, love thine own soul. But you can't love yourself if you harping and so heavy and beating yourself up about your insecurities. It's okay. We not perfect. We wasn't meant to be perfect. Right. It's okay to have crooked teeth, be short, be too tall, have a big head, whatever you insecure about. It be simple things too. Some brothers and sisters, insecurity is deeper than rap, right? Mm-hmm. Right, but you got to know how to love that man in the mirror. Yeah. That's the old saying, man. If you don't love yourself, how you gonna love anybody else? Right. So a lot of your relationships, your friendships will fail because you don't even love yourself, and you so worried about what somebody else is saying about your insecurities, you can't even see the beauty within yourself. So you always beating yourself up, hating yourself. Yeah. Not knowingly. You hate your insecurities so much, but your insecurities make up who you are. So if you hate your insecurities, you hate yourself. That's self-hatred. We got to get out of that. And that's why the Black community is so torn down, because we have so much hatred amongst ourselves. We kill the person. Nipsey said this, man. We kill the person that looks just like us, that's dressed like us. We hate the man in the mirror. Sisters, we fighting somebody, shoes off, pulling their weave out. Only the people that look just like us, because you hate the person that's in the mirror. We broken. Mm-hmm. You broke as a person. And the only way to start fixing that person is to be in tune with self. Yeah. That's it. Like, you gotta cut the fat off, and the fat is usually social. Not saying you gotta stop social media, but you gotta Stop living up to social media hype because that's a lie. Everybody on social media is flagging, period. Just flagging. Not I ain't gonna say everybody, but a lot of times, a lot of people is flagging. The lifestyle that you think they living, they ain't really living, and they got worse insecurities and going through way worse than you mentally. They unhappy mentally. That's why the scripture say what? Better is a poor man being sound. So the poor man is actually better because he got a sound mind and he's in tune with himself and a strong constitution, meaning strong in body, than a rich man that is afflicted in the body. You got $100 million in the bank, but you on life support and on a ventilator, got a tube in your stomach, a tube in your throat, right? And can't move.
Yeah, look at Steve Jobs.
Yeah. What happened with Steve Jobs? I don't know that. Tell me.
I mean, he died because of some health issue.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Rich as ever. He was a fruitarian. What's a
Yeah.
whole other thing? But he had a whole lot of ailments. But we got auntie or granny living to 100. You know what I mean? She don't have all of that.
And she had nothing.
She has her mind and she has that spirit.
Actually, she was born in slavery,
Yeah.
and didn't need to be rich, but she had a strong mind and a strong spirit. This is a real statement. Some people insecurities have insecurities make their souls where they frown, while on the outside they smile. That's 9 out of 10 people, man. It's 9 out of 10 people, guaranteed. Keep going on that. Verse 15.
Verse 15. Health and good state of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth.
Right, and the strong body, and I see that body. Obviously, as that's your physical body, meaning you got to kind of be in shape, man. We got to get in shape. You don't have to work out 5 days a week. Y'all remember the commercial as kids? 30 minutes a day. That's it. Really, I really say 30 minutes 3 times a week. Hey, that's your standard. If you do 4, good. If you do 2, all praises. If you do 1, that's better than none. But we got to have that strong body. We got to have that strong body. See, we think being strong is how financially stable you are, and that's not necessarily the case all the time. Right? Keep going.
All right. And it says,
16.
Okay, 16. There is no riches above a sound body.
See, there is no riches above a healthy body, healthy mind. I'm telling you, I see it all the time. People vented tube in every opening of the body, literally, right? And they was this doctor, this CEO, this and that and the third, 48, 57 years old, right? And they don't have a sound body.
He said C.T. Fletcher. Yup, man. Or like it's crazy. People will sacrifice their health to make money, then spend all their money on their health.
Yeah. Yeah, don't make no sense. Don't make no sense. Read that verse one more time, 16, King.
All right. There is no riches above a sound body, and no joy above the joy of the heart.
And there's no joy above the joy of the mind. And to continue this race in the long haul, you gotta have the joy of the mind. Telling you, we too anxious in this walk. That's why we start detouring. Let's get the words of Yahweh Shah real quick. Let's get about 3-4 more, and I got a video. Let's go to Matthew 6. I think Malachi did a lesson on this. Hey, Shalom, Captain Zamar from LOZ. Shalom.
Matthew
6. I think Malachi, man. We got to go back in the archives and y'all got to go watch. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he did. If he watching right now, I'm pretty sure he did a lesson on this. This chapter is so heavy. This is Yahweh Shah telling you how to deal with anxiety right here, right? With those
16.
That's maybe too far down. Let's start at 25.
All right. This is the book of Matthew chapter 6 and verse 25. Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what you shall eat or what you shall drink.
See, and that goes back. Is that saying don't worry about what you're gonna eat and drink? That's going back to be careful for nothing. Like you too anxious about it, bro. You got food in the refrigerator. There's something in there you could try to whip up, right? Most High is gonna take care of you. You might not have the steak and the lamb in there, but you got a little chicken breast, chicken thigh, right? And you got rice, right? And you can mix it up, man. The Sirach talk about the chief things of life, man. Right? Go ahead.
Okay, take no thought for your life, what you shall eat or what you shall drink, nor yet for your body. What ye shall put on, is not the life more than meat?
Hey, is not the life more than meat? Isn't it more than living just the food you about to eat, the things you about to do? It's more than that. Read on.
And the body than raiment?
Mm-hmm.
Behold, behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feed them. Are ye not much better than they?
So are you not better than that? Are you not? Hey, Khan, I wanted a lesson on that too. On anxiety, he went into a lot of these same scriptures. Are you not better than the birds, the pigeons that's out 5 points? They eating all the time. You ever? I want brothers to do that. I mean, next time you see a bird eating some fries off the ground or in the trash, you gotta think to yourself, I'm better than this shit. Howard definitely taking care of me. Right? Yeah, Howard Shot definitely taking care of me. Right? But sometimes you get in your head that you just want more. Right? And more is not always better. Right? It's not always better. The more you have, sometimes it's not better. Sometimes the simple things in life. Right? And let's get that real quick. Let's hold that. Let's go back to Sirach. Go to Sirach 29, the chief things in life. He said these birds out here be fat. That's a fact, especially in 5 points.
All right. And 21. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 29, verse 21.
Yep.
The chief thing for life is water, and bread, and clothing, and in house to cover shame.
Hey, that's the chief things in life, man. That's all you need: bread, water, and a crib to cover your shame, and a mean cottage. Right? Go to Sirach 39 and 26.
All right. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 39, and verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt.
Hey, you know that's Jake. You need salt. You got to season that thing, man. That's Jake. Read.
Flour of wheat, honey.
Hey, you know it's Jake. You need something sweet.
Yeah, good. Milk.
Jake love they milk, man. Jake love they cereal. I'm about to eat cereal as soon as the lesson is over.
Oh yeah,
but not the cow titty though. Not cow. Coconut milk. I'm on the coconut milk now. Homemade too. I got to get on that precept. Read.
In the blood of the grape.
Hey, that's the yayan. Read.
And oil. And clothing.
Hey, and clothing, man. That's what you need, man. So right, 39 and 26, man. It's the principal things of life, man. A little salt, flour, yayan, iron, right? That can be taken a lot of ways. You need that fire, right? Or you need iron to make things. Of course, you need iron to make things. Really, that could be a sword too, right? Wheat, need some sweet bread. Hey, that coconut. Hey, Tony, you got to get on that coconut milk precept. You got to get the coconut flakes from Whole Foods, organic coconut flakes. Get some water, some Florida. We got Zephyr Hill water. Get you some water bottles a gallon, right? Get you some water, boil the water, put the flakes in there, put it in the blender. You got coconut water, fresh. I'm put a little. I like the scripture say, put a little honey in it. I think my real put agave in it. Put a little agave in that thing, make it a little sweet to the taste. Fire. I'm telling you, fire. You'll never buy, and it's cheaper because all you buying is water and coconut flakes, man. Right? That's all you need, man. So that's my milk. That's the milk I got. Right?
All right.
That's it, man. Right? All praise. Hey, you got the chat laughing, man. Look at my members in here laughing at me, right? Because you know it's real.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know it's real. Coconut water is life. That's real. A real coconut water, not the can. Florida, we got the coconuts fresh out the tree.
Yeah,
fresh out the tree.
I don't know.
Right? You'll never get nothing better than
lately. I've been on that sugar cane juice, that fresh. Go get it fresh, man.
So that's fire too. That pressure cane, we got that out here too.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Yahushua though,
All right.
because just to keep you in this thing, the less you stress, the easier this walk in the truth is. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
the less you stressing in this walk, the easier it makes the truth. But you got to know how to say F it to some things that you can't control, and the things you can control, however the outcome play. That was Yahushua wanted it that way. Yeah, sugarcane juice, man. They got the press, get the sugarcane, they press it in some water. Things. It's
Man,
extra sweet though. It's extra sweet.
man, it's so good.
Yeah. Oh, praise it. The brother said I'm from the Caribbeans. What island you from, Matt? What island you from in the Caribbean? What island you from? Sis TTC. I can do the almond milk. I'm not a fan of the coconut. Sis, I'm telling you, if you get that coconut milk, that from Whole
You gotta
Foods,
be
the
cold.
plates, put it in the refrigerator, get it. That thing nice. I get the carton. After you have coconut water out the fresh coconut, you can never drink the carton again. It's worthless. I'm telling you. Right. Let's go back to Matthew 6. Read 26. I think it was 27.
All right. Yeah, all right. 27. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 6 and verse 27.
He said he from DR. What part of DR you in, man? I got family in La Romana. What part of
Yeah.
DR? I got some family in La Romana.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right. It says, which of you, by taking thought, can add 1 cubit unto his stature? And why take ye thought for raiment? Consider the lilies of the field, how they
Mm-hmm.
grow.
Hey, it says from stress, how can you grow 1 cubit? You can't. So why are you stressing about the things that you can't even control?
Mm-hmm.
It's out of your scope. It's out of your scope. It's out of your range. So hey, you just gotta take the punches when they come and duck the others when they come. Right? And the ones you take, learn from it. That's it. Learn from it. Read on.
All right. Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They toil not, neither do they spin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's like it. Yet I say unto you that even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. Wherefore, if God so clothed the grass of the field, which today is and tomorrow is cast into the oven,
Mm-hmm.
shall he not much more clothe you,
So you
O
got to know
you?
that, man. He's gonna clothe you. Hey, the brother said, Eric say he got, he got family in La Romana as well. Hey, so it is a beautiful place, man. Hey, man, and to the people that's on now, if you didn't hear in the beginning, we got our new membership for the YouTube. So if you want to become a member, you're gonna get all your comments are priority. So that's why you see me shouting out and diving into and speaking to all my members, right? So please join us, become a member of the SOT Sons of Thunder Israelites YouTube, man. Your comments take priority when we on the live, right? So make sure if you can, make sure you become a member. Right. And we appreciate all the members that we have now. We got a few members. We got Tony, we got Sister TT, we got Ariel, right? Got a couple members in here today, right? So please become a member to the YouTube. Priority comments, right? You get social media shout outs, right? Members only, man, right? SOT members only. So beautiful. Right. Go ahead. Is more on that?
That was basically the end of it.
That was it, right? So I want to get one. You got something out? If you got something, bring it out.
God, yeah, I was for the long haul. I was going a little slightly different route, but yeah, let's
I think it kind of me too. I wasn't really going this route, but it kind of went that way.
develop into that. It's beautiful. All praises. That's why I saw where it was going. I was like, oh, let me yield and let the spirit just move how it's going to.
Kind.
All right. But yeah, okay, man. A big part of being in for the long haul is not getting tired or not growing weary and well doing. That's Galatians 6 and 7, right? And but also just understanding, like, listen, because a lot of times we be wanting to hurry it up. A lot of times brothers want to be like, man, can the kingdom come tomorrow? Y'all wish I come tomorrow. But it's like, brother, like, be patient and do what you're supposed to do, because Why? Because the Most High, He wants everybody to get, well, all His elect to get this kingdom. And if you're trying to hasten the day, think about what it is for you. Think about what the end is for you. That's Amos 5 and 18 and 19,
Mhm.
talking about how the end could be. So here, let me see. Let me
What you
do
got?
this.
I can read it for you.
Okay, yeah. Can you read that Amos 5 and 18, Baba Kushah?
Mm-hmm. Amos 5 and 18. Amos is after Joel. Yeah, we're all. Amos 5 and 18.
Yeah.
Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord.
Uh-huh.
To what end is it for you?
So that's it right there. So think about, listen, your focus in this truth. Yes, we want to hasten the day, yes, all of that, but your focus in this truth is making sure that you are blameless as much as possible, and you are
Mm-hmm.
bringing people in, because that end of the is you're gonna get through by the skin of your teeth. You know
That's
what I
right.
mean? And a lot of times, what we do is say, "Hey, listen, I've been not eating pork for 5 years. I've been keeping the commandments. I've been wearing my fringes, all of that stuff." And they don't realize that some of the deeper meanings of this, about that spiritual circumcision, about being a Jew inward, those type of things is what's going to save you. And
Yeah,
if on your walk is if you forgetting like your first works and your first love, man, it could be a bad thing for you. So that's what's going to keep you in the long haul, because at the end of that haul, you don't know if you've been being lukewarm, if you kind of forgot about what you the requirements were, then it could be a bad thing for you, right?
that's good.
And keep going.
It says, to what end is it for you? The
Yeah.
day of the Lord is darkness and
Mm-hmm.
not light,
Right. Okay, keep going.
as if a man did flee from a lion and a
Uh-huh.
bear met him.
Right. So stop right there. So because one thing that we got to remember, we do have to go through Jacob's trouble. Okay, that is coming. That is a part of this long haul. That's coming up, and understanding that, yes, be happy, yes, like be content, but also realize that those days and those trials are coming, right? And imagine that. So imagine if you were running from a lion, so you get away, boom, you hit the corner, and it's a bear right there,
Grizzly.
right? Like, oh man, and then keep going on that. So
Con. Or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him.
so imagine that you running from a lion, you hit a corner, boom, it's a bear right there, and you say, oh no, hold up, let me go into this house right there. You're like, whoo. Then the snake come get you. That's how it's going to be, man. And if you don't have that true foundation, you're gonna get got out here.
That's right.
And so instead of me focusing on hurry up, y'all try come today, come tomorrow, what time? Listen, because what about the people that the Most High wants in the truth tomorrow? What
Mm,
about the people that you need to reach today when you go out to camp?
that's
Don't be
right.
selfish. Don't be selfish. Listen, stick your head down and do what you need to do, and the Most High will come when He's supposed to come. You know what I mean?
And let me
And
keep reading
don't
on that.
God, okay, because this is some heat right here. All right,
It says,
listen.
shall not the day of the Lord be darkness
Hmm.
and not light,
Right,
even very dark, and no brightness in it? Sheesh.
right. So that day, that's why it's called the great and terrible day of the Lord. Okay, so it's not going to be butterflies and bubble gum being passed out. It's going to be a terrible day. You
Mhm.
know, and like I said, this Jacob's trouble, and what end is it to you? So this is something that you should constantly be checking yourself and keep that in mind as you on this walk. Don't get lackadaisical, don't get lazy, don't take your hand off the plow just because you keeping a couple of commandments, right? You got to constantly endure and try to get better in this thing. Constantly endure and try to save a soul, because the book of James tells you, like, hey, look, when you save a sinner from sin, you hide a multitude of sins.
That's
So
real.
that needs to constantly be on your mind. You got to keep the end in mind at all times. Sirach, the book of Sirach, chapter 28, tell you that.
That's right. Hey, let's
And
get into. You got another one?
yeah, but Go
Go ahead,
ahead.
bring it out. Bring it out.
All right, all right.
Give me the time.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 14. I'll start at
Well, let me read it for you so you can break it down. Luke
yes,
14
sir.
and what?
I'm trying to see how much of it I want to read.
Bring it out.
All right. Chapter 14, and we could start in 28.
This is the book of Sirach. Sirach. This is the book of Luke, chapter 14, verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
For which of you, intending to build a tower,
Mm-hmm.
sitteth not down first and counteth the cost,
Mm-hmm.
whether he has sufficient, what is that? Sufficient to finish it.
So you see, the whole point of being in the truth is why to get the kingdom. So that's important. So when it comes down to being down for the long haul, you got to understand what the goal is. You got to understand all the things that it's going that you might have to go through. You might have to endure to get to that to get to that point, right? And so it's very important to count the cost. Understand that you're gonna lose some friends. Understand that you're gonna have to study. Understand that it's gonna be some times where Satan is gonna attack you, because that's why I said, listen, if you come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. So all of this is coming, all these trials are coming. Understand that, right? And so, and then it goes into basically how if you don't count the cost, then you're gonna be embarrassed. You're gonna overcome. You're gonna be made to look foolish out here.
That's
And
right.
and if you read the rest of that parable, it's explaining that, right? So understand the end and have the end in mind from the beginning, and that's why it says, I'll read that in Ecclesiastes 7 and 8 that I kind of referenced earlier. All right, I'm here. This is Ecclesiastes 7 and 8. It says, better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof.
Mm-hmm.
And the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit.
That's
Okay.
right.
Because, man, when you get to the end of something, when you in it, man, it's a testament to your character. It's a testament to your resolve. It's a testament to your tenacity, and sticking to the goal and to finishing it out, because you counted the cost and you did it right. And when you are patient in spirit, man, you don't stress.
Mm-hmm.
What we were just talking about earlier, you happy, you understand. Listen, I can't even control this. I'm be patient because I know the Most High has got all of this.
That's
I'm gonna
right.
let Him do it, as opposed to, hey, you know what? I'm in the truth now, and can't nobody cut me, and can't this and that. And then somebody cut you because you aren't studied.
Mm-hmm.
Now you feeling dejected, and like how that article said last week. You feeling down,
Down.
and
Yeah.
then you go off.
Yes.
You don't want to do that. So understand that having that patience in your spirit is so important to having being in it for the long haul, right? Because you keep that end in mind, and you know how that what they say in the church, let go and let God.
Mm-hmm.
They do, but that's a real thing. You want to do that. And then another one. Let
Hey,
me see.
before you get another one, let me show, because I see some people asking, how do I become a member? Right. So I'm gonna show y'all real quick. Can you see this up? Right. This
Come,
is
come, 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 come.
Thunder Thunder. Well, I put this our page, right, and then you just join right here, our members, and you see all our members right here, and you just click the join tab, right. So that's how you join. All right, go ahead, out.
Huh. And so it's just very important. I want you all to keep the end in mind and what could happen. So let me see. I swear, like I told you, I'm gonna bring this out I'm gonna find a use for this verse every single lesson. And that's Sirach chapter 11 and verse 20. All right. It says, be steadfast in thy covenant
Mm.
and conversant therein, and wax old in thy work. Okay, this is not temporary. This is not a seasonal thing. This is not. Be steadfast in our covenant, and you're gonna have to wax old. All right, you in it for the long haul. This is blood in this and blood out. Oh wait, hey, Con, we got a new member. All praises.
All praise.
You know,
We've been
so
all praises, all praises. The water, all praises.
So it's something that we got to have that endurance, man. We got to have that patience in our spirit and understand that this is something that you're expected to, become. I mean, well, think about it. Even in martial arts, it takes 20 something years to be a black belt, and that's something carnal.
Mm-hmm.
So at what point do you think that you could drop out of the truth or not do it and still get that accolade, still get that crown of life? You cannot, right? And the book of Ezekiel tell you that. The book of Ezekiel explain this.
You gotta finish that race.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Like
read.
even if you fall down, it's a hiccup. I'm gonna get a video. Why you getting that precept? You fall down, you catch a cramp. You gotta finish that race. And really, when I say that race, I mean this race and this truth. I'm gonna show y'all something. Bring your precept out.
All right, this is Ezekiel chapter 18. And I'll just do 24, right? It says, "But when the righteous turneth away from his righteousness and committeth iniquity, and do according to all the abominations that the wicked man do, shall he live? All his righteousness that he had done shall not be mentioned. In his trespass that he had trespassed, and in his sin that he had sinned, in them he shall die." So you could spend 20 years, man, being in the truth, being on fire, being in the spirit, and waxing old and not working. And you just say, well, forget it. In the last year, I'm gonna take my hand off the plow, and then you just go back into the world and back into sin. That's what you're gonna be remembered for, man. And that's what you're gonna be judged on. And you're gonna die in those sins, man. So understand, you better count the cost and understand that you have to be in it for the long haul. Because adversely, early in that chapter, it says, look, if somebody was wicked and in sin 20 years, and in the last year of their life, they turn around and they repent, they're gonna be remembered for that. They're gonna be remembered for their righteousness that they lived in.
That's
So
right.
it's very important to understand that, and for this walk, it's a lifetime thing. And if you're not ready to do that, you need to take a pause for the cause. I want you all to do that, but that's why it says, look, you better count the cost. I'd rather you be the hot or cold, not lukewarm.
That's right. That's real. Give me Philippians 1:6.
All right.
Philippians 1, and I think verse 6.
All right. This is the book of Philippians, chapter 1 and verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
Being confident of this very thing, that he which hath begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Yahushua HaMashiach.
Hey, so we gotta perform this thing until the day of the coming of Hamashiach. That's the long haul, because we don't know.
Yeah.
It said it's gonna be like a thief. Give me 2 Timothy 4:7. It says it's gonna be like a thief in the night. That means you don't know when it's coming. You have no idea when it's gonna happen. So you gotta continue this race, and you gotta finish the fight. You gotta finish the race. Even though you fall, you go through mishap, stress, people passing away, losing jobs, family members turning against you. What more can we go through in this race? Whatever the case, your dog dying, your cat dying, whatever happens, man, you gotta finish this race. Read that out.
This is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 7. I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith.
Hey, and he said, I fought a good fight. I finished my course, and I've kept the faith. I want to show y'all something about finishing that course or finishing your race, because it's your race, man. You're not racing. You're not competing against Jack Quab. Another new member, SOT Josiah, man. One of my favorite kings in the Bible. That is my favorite king, really. Josiah, man, in the building, right? The water, all praises, right? So, hey, man, be a member, become a member of SOT YouTube channel, SOT membership. I want to show y'all this video real quick about finishing that course, no matter what. This is by any means necessary, right? I want y'all to pay attention to this. Hold on, real quick. And fair use. We only use this for educational purposes. This video was broadcasted by NBC Sports. We don't want any monetary donation or funds from the video. We're only using this video for educational purposes and reasons.
Fair use.
Fair use. All right, so y'all watch this. Can you see it now? All
Okay.
right, watch this. This is 1992, right?
Tom Hammond and Craig Mass back at Olympic Stadium in Barcelona, coming up to the men's 400 meters semifinals. Here are the lane assignments. Steve Lewis in lane 3. Top 4 to Wednesday's final. Steve Lewis in lane 3. Roberto Hernandez out quickly in.
We cannot. Oh.
Now down the back.
Say it again,
It had paused. We can see it now.
Okay, you can see it now. Okay. So right, they running. If y'all not familiar with track, this is a good step anyways, right? If y'all not familiar with track, they run the 400 meter. The 400 meter. Hold, Salaki, real quick, y'all, real quick. Hold on.
All right. I'm gonna bring out a preset. All right. So since we left off in 2 Timothy, I'm gonna read the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2, and verse 3. And it says, "Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua HaMashiach." So part of running that race, man, is enduring that hardness as a good soldier. Because don't get confused. This is a war. We are soldiers. When the Most High said the Lord of hosts, and imagine him sitting there with a sword with his army in front of him. That's why it says the captain of the host of the Lord. And so don't think that we aren't soldiers. We are all soldiers, and that's why we got to endure this hardness, because we in it for the long haul. Can a soldier stop in the midst of the fight and say, "Oh man, I'm tired of fighting"? No, everybody gonna die. So that's what you got to do.
That's right. You get back to it. All right, real quick. We're gonna show this video real quick.
Back stretch.
Ismail on the left of the screen.
Anyways, I was explaining though the 400 meter dash real quick. The 400 meter dash is a sprint around the track one time, right? This is one of the hardest races because you got to sprint around the entire track. So these brothers is running full speed. Obviously, you got to have certain paces. First half, you kind of get out there. Second half, you kind of slow down. Come around the curve, you got to speed up. And the last 100, you got to give it everything you got, right? It's one of the hardest races to run. I was in the 4x4, right? So, but I want y'all to pay attention. I want y'all to just pay attention.
Green is running very, very quickly. And inside of Lewis, Sunday Bada of Nigeria.
And Derek Redmond of Great Britain has pulled up with an injury. Redmond is out.
Derek Redmond, the British.
Now look, this is how your walk being the truth, man. This is the race. This is the race. The long in it for the long haul. This is the race, man. Sometimes, you're gonna be in that race and you're gonna start off full speed in this thing, and then you're gonna start to stumble, pull a hamstring, and then possibly even fall, man. But I want you to pay attention to this brother, man. I think he's from Britain, right? Yeah, he's from Britain, right? So he might be Benjamin, right? I want y'all to pay attention to how this brother got through this thing, man. And it's the same spirit we gotta have in this truth. It's getting through the race, finishing your course, finishing a good fight.
Record holder and an important member of that British 4x4.
Hey, Esau, get off me, man. Can't nothing stop me. I'm finishing this race. That's the spirit we got to be in this long haul. You got to know to finish this race. Get off me. Ain't all that. Ain't none of that going to hold me down. I'm getting to this line by any means necessary.
400-meter relay team.
Hey, if I got to limp all the way to the end.
He doesn't want anybody to help him.
It'll be Lewis to win in 44.50.
Look at this. He's going to try.
Now, I know y'all heard that, but it said he's gonna try to finish his semifinal race. Hey, we in the truth. This is the final race. We done tried Islam. We done tried Mormons, Baptists, all the other stuff. Kemet, Egyptology. We done tried it, man. It's the final race, man. You gotta finish this race. You gotta finish this race, man.
They have a certain tradition of running, which you have to respect.
A bizarre finish to this first semifinal in the men's 400 meters. Derek Redmond of Great Britain pulled up with an injury halfway down the back stretch.
But look, this is the importance of this video too, man, because you're gonna need brothers and sisters to help you when you fall, man. This is the importance. And if y'all seen it, they was trying to stop the brother's father from even coming out there, the brother Derek, from coming out there. But you need loyal brothers in this walk, man. When you fall, that's gonna help you get up and run that race with you. That's gonna fast with you. That's gonna say, nah, I'm not going for that. I got you, man. Because what a brother is born for adversity, a brother or a sister is the medicine of life. Right? So I think brothers and sisters really get the gist of the video, man. At the end, man, the brother Derek, he finishes the race. And that's what it's about, man. Finishing this fight. Read that scripture in Timothy one more time, Mark.
All right.
Read it in Timothy one more time. 2 Timothy 4 and 7. I won't pay the whole thing.
This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 4 and verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
I have fought a good fight.
He said, I fought the good fight, man. That brother, they said that brother Derek, right, had the world record in 1992 in Britain, right? He had the fastest 400. He going into the semifinals. He probably trying to get in. This is probably the prelims for the Olympics, probably, right? Hey, and he fell, pulled a hammy, fell on the ground, but still, had the wherewithal to finish that race. So do you have the wherewithal? You got to ask yourself, do you have the wherewithal to finish this race, to finish this fight, and stand grounded and rooted in your house shot for the long haul, man? You got to have that spirit. You got to ask yourself that question. Keep going now. Read it from the top again.
I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith.
Hey man, hey, and that brother at the end of the video, man, he finished his course. He probably didn't win. He might have not been you might not be in a 144, right? You may not be in that. Hey, but you finished the race and you were still crowned, man. You still got your palms, man. Hey, the hashtag finished the race, man.
Oh, praise.
Brother Kai said, hey man, that got me fired up. That's real, man. And that's what that's what the pregame is about, to get you fired up, man. If you feeling like you don't want to go to camp, man, get your ass up. Let's go to camp. Finish your race. Continue to do this work. This going to camp is for the long haul, man. Priest Abbat been going to camp for forever.
Yes.
Priest Kahan and them, even Alazar, right? They've been going to camp over 10 years. So we got to have that same spirit, man, of finishing this race, right? Everybody hashtag and finish the race, man. We got to have that same spirit. Get up and go to camp. Don't be slothful, right? Even the sisters, man, don't be slothful in your work around the crib, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Finish your race. Do what was asked of you. That's all you got to do in the truth is do what was asked of you. Everything else will be given unto you. Right? You got anything else up?
Man, I'll yield right there. This was kind of a mic drop moment of this video.
All praises, man. All praises. So with that, this is another pregame episode. Lord willing, next week we have some special guests on the building. We got some phone men. Me and Aharon got some phone calls to make. For some guests that probably want to hop on next week. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Appreciate everybody for sharing, and subscribing to the channel. I appreciate all the people that donated. We appreciate all the new members that tuned in. We just appreciate everybody, man. We thankful for this truth, man. You got to be thankful for this walk and for this truth in these last days, man. So we appreciate that. Hey, and Tawada and big ups to the elders, man, that's been doing this work in it for the long haul, man. Whether it's 6 years, 9, 12, whatever, right? They've been doing it 30 years, man. Tawada for the brothers that's been enduring in this walk, man, right? So the chat and shalom to the chat, Shar Shabbat. Let me play this video. Let me play this on closing real quick, and then we'll be up out of there, Aharon. Me and you will hop out.
Yeah.
Before we go. Your family, call your friends. It's time to play the game. The Truth of Yah. Learning the Bible has never been more engaging. The game that's guaranteed to increase your biblical knowledge, renew minds, and save lives. Grab your Bible and don't forget your Apocrypha. Loads of fun for everyone. The Truth of Yah board game helps build up the poor in spirit, build character, gain wisdom, show what you know or find out what you didn't know. Gain confidence. Line upon line, precept upon precept, make the Truth of Yah a part of your home today. Come on, what are you waiting for? Join the fun today.
So, but before you join the fun today, make sure you're going out to camp. Sisters, make sure you're teaching your household, the children, or even if you by yourself and you got to read and, get into the scriptures and watch the brothers. Lord willing, we go live on Facebook. If it ain't too rainy out there, I'm pretty sure the brother's still going to pull up. But all praise to the Most High for allowing us to teach this lesson. If you was edified, all praise to the Most High. Captain Yaquad.
So Haran.
And Thawada for tuning into another episode of the pregame. Shalom.
Shalom.